Good morning, everybody. Positive Tuesday today, May 18th, 2021. Fitz and I took last Tuesday off, but the week before that, we had celebrated our 50th Ben and Fitzy show. We want to say thank you to Spooner Health CEO Mike Schaefer and Shell Lake Police Chief Dave Wilson for coming on for that to help us celebrate. You can find a recording of that show and all of our other shows on our Facebook page, our website, and on our YouTube channel. And as a reminder, this Thursday, I will be joined once again by Adam Jarko and Patty Schochner for another episode of Politically Speaking. Fitzy, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
I'm great. So you ready for the trivia question here this morning, the sports trivia question?
Hey, I got one for you, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I got to be doing our show plug here for ICAA. Yeah. I can't be thinking and reading. So okay. I'll ask you this one first. No, so in light of the fact that the NBA playoffs are starting, this one is going to be on NBA. Remember, don't answer right now. Who was the first player in NBA history to be elected league MVP by unanimous vote? Magic Johnson, Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, or LeBron James? So think about that for a second. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you're watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by ICAA. ICAA is your local social service organization that works together with individuals, families, and the community to create and support local solutions for local needs. Their goal is to help remove barriers so people can access resources, education, and services to increase financial security. For a full list of services, find them on Facebook or check them out on their website at indianheadcaa.org. All right, Fitzy, what is the answer to the trivia question?
Give me my choices again.
Okay, so the first player in NBA history, and I believe the only one, to be elected league MVP by unanimous vote: Magic Johnson, Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, or LeBron James?
Steph Curry.
You're correct.
Sweet.
Good one. All right, what's the one that you had?
Okay.
Wait, you didn't get last week's. That was Rex Grossman last week.
I think so.
Yeah. So I've only fooled you. I've only gotten you once so far.
So all right. So I'm 2 for 1. There. I quit playing because I want to win.
All right. What's your trivia question?
Okay. So I like McDonald's. I eat there a lot.
Yep.
So only there's one capital in the United States that does not have a McDonald's in it.
It's multiple choice. You got to give me some.
Oh, that's okay. So is it Lansing, Michigan, Concord, New Hampshire, Juneau, Alaska, or Montpelier, Vermont?
Okay, I think you made up that last one. I'm going to go with the Alaska one.
No, it's Vermont. Vermont. The capital in Vermont doesn't. The only capital in the United States that doesn't have a McDonald's. So how about that? There.
Wonder why.
That's your fact of the day.
Vermont. Yeah, that actually kind of makes sense to me.
I don't know how big. I've never been to Vermont. I don't know how big it is.
Yeah, I think it's over by, I don't know, East Coast or something. So it's been a couple of. I'm not even sure. I think it's by Maine or. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you're correct.
Oh. It's been a couple weeks. What's been going on with you?
Nothing. Man, it's nice out though, isn't it? And it's been busy, here at work and playing hockey on the weekends still. And we got a couple weekends off, so I'm going to enjoy this upcoming weekend. I think I have it off right now. We'll see what happens. But other than that, it's just been some great weather, and we actually need some rain here to knock some of this dust down in the fields and water some of our farmers' fields that they've been planting like crazy. So heads up to all our farmers and all the farm traffic out there. So give our farmers that extra space and just take your time going places and let our farmers get in the fields and get the crops planted.
Yeah, it has been.
What about you?
Well, we've been trying to burn. So it's so nice. We cleaned our whole garage. I mean, I can actually see the back of the garage now, and we save up all of our cardboard to burn it. But obviously, with all the fire danger right now, we don't even want to do that just in our yard in a fire pit. So it's super nice weather. It's like 80 degrees today and this week. But yeah, dude, we need some rain.
Yeah, we do. That's kind of weird. That it seems like we had rain and rain and rain. It was cold, but now we really need rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice for these farmers to knock the dust down in the fields.
Yeah.
And you see these tractors going through the fields, and it's it's kind of neat to see it, and the dust and the sunset, and been had some late night meetings, and they just working nonstop to get it all planted. So, but I'm sure they want some rain. So let's.
You're such a romantic. I love that image, just and the sun going down, and
I almost stopped and take a picture the other night because it was cool. This tractor, and I should have taken it.
Yeah.
I could have won an award or something. I could have been on DrydenWire.
Well, I know that my dad definitely wants rain because he lives on a dead end dirt road. So every time they go by, Dad's always slow down. You're all the dust getting in the house. Oh yeah, it's just great. He just probably just sits out there with a chair and just yells at all the people that go by. So
isn't he on like a downboard? Can't he get it blacktopped or something?
No, he's not anymore. That's probably what gave him a heart attack. So, but it's been since it has been a couple weeks. We have a lot of press releases or things from Barron County that I wrote down over the last 2 weeks here that we have published. I'm just going to start right from the top. These were no order, but the headline here was one in custody following a standoff in Rice Lake. That was like May 6th or 7th, I think.
Yeah, that was in the early morning, about 8 o'clock on I think it was a Thursday morning or Tuesday morning. I can't remember. Thursday morning. And we had to negotiate. We were there helping Rice Lake PD negotiate with the guy to get him out of a house. Our SWAT team was called. Ultimately, the SWAT team got there, but the subject had came up while they were staging just down the road from the house to get a plan to go in. But he came out and ultimately had to be OC'd, use OC spray to get him into custody and get him, to the jail. But again, another standoff without incident.
It seems like, and I'll have to go back and look. Well, I'm not going to, but I probably should. Every time that we do one of these shows, we always seem to talk about another SWAT situation. What are we up to now? 9?
10. I just did a thing on it tomorrow. I have a law enforcement meeting, and we're giving an update on that. And we're at 10 call-outs for the year already. We only had 5 last year, so we averaged a half a call every month last year, and now we're over 2 a month right now. So,
well, again, it's another one of those situations that it's so good that the individual was taken into custody, not just because, taken into custody, but safe, and everybody gets to go home. And the bad guy to jail, but still, everybody gets to go home, and that's obviously the key, I think, behind all that.
Right. I agree with that, and that's the goal in every one of our situations. And but that's why we invest in our equipment and our training. We're having a big SWAT training tomorrow, a multi-agency response in Barron County. Eau Claire SWAT's coming up to train with us. We're training with the Lifelink helicopter. We're training with our rescue task force. We're in some medical training. We're doing some live loads with the helicopter.
Wait, hold on a second. What's a live load?
Well, the helicopter is actually, we're going to take off and land the helicopter and put a person in it like we would train with it. So it's going to be pretty intense training. Like I said, multiple agencies will have, I think the sheriff from Eau Claire, the sheriff of Rusk, myself, all of our departments coming together to do this multi-agency response team. Eau Claire SWAT team is a regional SWAT team, so they take care of the region. If we needed a backup SWAT team, we can call Washburn and Sawyer or whoever. But if we really needed a lot of equipment, Eau Claire is a regional SWAT team, so they have some bigger equipment. They have another armored vehicle, things like that, some different communication pieces. So we're going to train with them tomorrow at Camp Phillips in Hagen, and so we'll be up there tomorrow training.
So if anybody's hearing helicopters and a whole bunch of, oh man, I should probably put up something about this, like just send some info, because I got a funny feeling I'm going to be getting a lot of messages tomorrow. What's with all the police presence down here?
In Hagen.
Eau Claire's even up here. They're SWAT team, and it's now.
Yeah, the helicopters are landing, and all we hear is, Right, so it'll be a very good training, and that's. I thought about this. We're always thinking about guests to be on the show, and I think having somebody from the Lifelink come on the show and talk about their helicopter and what it does for Barron County and the region, really Washburn County. I think so. I'll try to line up somebody from the Lifelink helicopter to tell us more about that, because that is such a great tool to have, and how many lives have been saved by that helicopter in Barron County.
Well, my dad
And
is one. Yep.
Right. Exactly. I mean, I just think and I gave a talk this morning at 7 to a Rotary group, and we talked a little bit about that. So I think having Lifelink come on and talk about their helicopter, and I don't know if they'll bring the local person here, if they'll bring somebody from wherever Lifelink's out of. So I think that's good. I'll get somebody to get in
that'd be
contact.
great.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. Real quick, what is a Rotary Club?
Well, they're a group of people. I'm in the noon Rotary. There's a morning.
What is the Rotary? I don't even know what that. I mean, I don't even know the definition of that.
Well, now you're gonna put me on the spot.
No, I was just curious. I don't know. Rotary.
It's a group of people that want to do good in the community, and that's how I would put it. I mean, they make a difference in our community. They do a lot of things for youth. They do some things, a lot of goodwill. It's a bunch of people that get together and meet, and one meets at breakfast, and they learn more about the community. I speak at the Sunrise Rotary a couple times a year, the Noon Rotary a couple times a year, to talk about law enforcement and what's going on in the community. But they have a 4-way test. Things we say and do, is it good for the community? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Things like that. Sure. They do a good job.
So someone had put up that was last week. We'll get to that later, because one of the reasons that we were off last Tuesday switched our Tuesdays off was because I went to speak at the Law Enforcement Memorial Service. But I want to get in that a little while from now. But someone, Karen, which by the way, she won the $50 gift card. Remember that last 2 weeks ago when we were giving those away? So the shirts, we're going to have our Ben and Fitzy ones. We just ordered 6 more different kinds of shirts, so we are closer than before. But like I said, it'll probably be the end of this month. We should actually know for sure how to do it. But yeah, we're getting close. We gotta put up this week all the different slogans that you and I have come up with, and put it to a vote to see what people want for the slogan for the show to be put on the shirts. So let's move on here. Here's another one of a press release for an article since we had spoken last. The headline was multi-vehicle crash in Barron County results in death of 24-year-old. And I don't know if you've been paying attention, but wow, there's been a lot of deaths, vehicle-related crashes in our area. I think last week, there's like 7 of them. Right. So this one, of course, is, what's that?
Right. There was 2 in Rusk County, 2 in Barron County, a double in Chippewa County, and I think you guys had one in Spooner, right? A 4-wheeler or something?
I don't remember. It was something.
Yeah.
Seriously, they were starting to run together. I'm like, what is... And sometimes I would get one, and I would look, and it was similar to another one. Wait, is that the same situation? No, that was a different person. And some of the ages, right? 13, 24, 23.
Right. Yeah, we had a head-on crash between Chautauqua and Cameron on Double S. Car crossed the center line, struck a family that was at playing soccer in Rice Lake. They had their daughter with them. The subject that crossed the center line died. The dad was falling out. The mom and daughter they were banged up, but they were okay. So that one's still in an investigation for the cause of that one. We also had the 3-wheel motorcycle death crash. It was a trike, went off the road, crashed on Highway 53, middle of the afternoon. Don't know what happened with that one yet. We're waiting for autopsy results on that crash to determine the cause of that one. But that was a single vehicle. The driver of the motorcycle passed away. The passenger is living. So I don't know the outcome of that, and we'll figure that one out too. But yeah, it was a crazy week. We helped Rusk County. There was one right on the line on the Rusk County side. Person hit a pole. We were over there. I went over there because we were really busy. It was the same day we had the kid in the tree that we'll talk about in a little bit. But we had all kinds of things going on. And then Rusk County called and said, hey, do you have some help? Myself and my sergeant were close. We went over to Rusk County and helped them. When we were landing 2 helicopters on the road, it was, but again, that helicopter is a great tool to have, and lots of lives have been saved.
Yeah. So we don't actually, pardon me, what a lot of people may not know is that you and I just don't talk or communicate that often in between our shows, unless it's something for media, and I gotta send you an email or something. But I think I tried like once or twice last week. We needed to talk about something, and every time I call, I can hear lights and sirens, and you're flying somewhere. And I'm like, hey, just have a question. He's like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, no, you just go do what you do, and we'll talk later. But every time I talked to you, it seemed you had lights and sirens going to another, unfortunately, fatal crash.
Right. Yeah. It was a weird week. It was an odd week. I mean, just for not just for Barron County, but for the whole area. I don't know what it was. If it was the sun was out, but I don't know the factors in all of the crashes, but if they're medical or alcohol or drugs or whatever. But we just got to take our time, and that's what scares me about all the farmers out there. I mean, people are in such a hurry that we want to pass a farm tractor that's going slow or whatever it is, and we're all guilty of it. We just got to remember to take time and just give some space to school buses and our kids and new drivers. And right now there's a new batch of drivers again because new kids have turned 16. And so towards the end of the school year, you always see a few more kids driving to school and things like that. So everybody's got to just take a breath and just breathe.
REL.
That won't be a joke if he doesn't play for the Packers anymore.
Yeah. By the way, I heard that what they wanted for him is 2 first-rounders, a second round, a key player, and a quarterback for him. So yeah, good luck with that. Yeah. Here is another one. Well, the headline was Spooner Man receives second federal meth-related sentence, but kind of the subheader there was I think his name was Brian Dennis. He was arrested in Barron County with 153 grams of 98% pure meth. So I wanted to ask you about when that was put in. Well, first of all, 153 grams. I don't know what that looks like. It sounds like a lot. But the 98% pure meth, what is normal? I mean, since they put in that percentage, I assume that means wow. But I have nothing to compare it to. Like the average meth stuff that you guys bust and the average person that has it, what percentage is it? 50 or?
I don't know the answer to that. That one, I didn't get that. We didn't write that press release.
Right.
That came from the state. So I don't know if the crime lab tells them. I've never put that in any of my, this is 72% pure meth, or, this is bad meth. This is 22%. You got the bad meth. I don't know if there's a difference between 2%, 22 and 98. Obviously 98's better, but now we'll have people marketing meth as this is 78. Don't buy from that guy. It's only has 62% meth. I don't. That's a lot of meth. It's very obviously high quality meth. I don't know if all of our meth is high quality or not. I've never looked at it that way.
It just sounds so funny now.
Fun of it, but it's a serious thing. But that's how we operate at the show.
Yeah, I gotta have a little levity. But
right. But that is a lot of meth. Those federal charges help the meth problem. I mean, because people say, "Whoa, am I next? Am I going to go federal?" Because there's some mandatory minimums with all of that you don't get an option to say, "You know what? I just want to, do work release, or I just want to do this, or I just want to do whatever." So, so just remember that. I don't know if that's good meth. Obviously, that's good meth, but that's a lot of meth. But that will help us in the future fighting meth. Is these federal charges like that?
No. And the one you had alluded to a little earlier was authorities respond to call of 12-year-old threatening to jump from a tree. When I received that one, I had to read it twice, thinking, okay, what was I was trying to always find my takeaway. And I thought it was a great example of law enforcement doing what they do, but you sent that out. Did you, what was your reasoning for sending that out? Because it's not like a normal, unfortunately, a fatal crash or a meth bust or something like that. What was your reasoning for doing that?
I contemplated that, and I actually called you, and you were busy, and then you called me, and I was busy, and then I had to send that out because I had some questions on if I should send that one out or not. And the reason I sent it out is because of the coordinated effort that was put forth by LifeLink, Mail, Barron Fire, law enforcement. I mean, this kid is 30 feet up in a tree and has some issues going on, and it doesn't matter what those issues are. And we needed to get this kid out of a tree. So we had this coordinated response. It wasn't like it was a 5-minute call. I mean, we negotiated for 45 minutes to try to get the kid to climb down in the tree. Ultimately, we had to take some action, but there was this plan in place that if he fell, and all of this stuff was in place, and that's why I sent it out, because one, there was a huge response. One, we had police and fire and EMS and helicopters landing just outside the city of Barron. And we didn't give his address, we didn't give his name, we didn't give his school. I wasn't looking, we got the kid the right help, but I was looking at people we want to talk about response to things, and I want to talk about the good. I mean, there's bad in the world. I mean, we've seen that across the nation, but I'm going to talk about the good a lot more than we probably ever have. In that case, I probably would have never sent that press release out. No one cares. I agree, it's not really newsworthy, but the response is newsworthy.
Yeah.
The plan that was put in place, the coordinated effort, our volunteer firemen, again, our Lifelink helicopter, our Mayo ambulance people that rushed to the scene, put a plan in place, had the equipment, had the tools to make sure people go home safe.
Yep.
And that's another option out there for us that I want people to know about. So while I took some grief for that and putting that out. Did you? Well, in the comments, if you want to say grief, just comment.
No, we don't count those.
But I do ask people's opinion. I do value people's opinion, but I also, I mean, I have to stop looking at that all the time, and I don't do it a lot, but you do. I was curious about it, and so I'm just happy that it turned out the way it did. I'm very proud of the response that what happened. And it's my job, I think, as sheriff to the citizens of Barron County to make sure people know that their tax money is going for the right thing. And when the volunteer fire department says we need this, I'm telling you, we use that, whatever that, the tools that are needed. And when we need to fight to keep that helicopter here, because a few years ago they thought about taking it away. I'm like, no, you can't. That's the kind of thing we need help with, and I just want people to know that when those questions get asked, we're using that equipment. We're doing that. That's why they train all the time. That's why you pay your taxes to do this, and so I just think it's important.
Yeah, I like again, it's another success story. That's how I look at it, and everyone working together, and again, everybody goes home safe. Everybody's fine. But also, and this is what you do very well, and I've complimented you on this many times, is that if you don't get ahead of something and if you don't say something, well, people are going to start talking about it anyway. And now they're going to be probably sharing the wrong information. So just get ahead of it. And I'm sure that's not the sole reason that you did that. Probably not. But, man, if that stuff's happening, you should let people know. You can stop rumors and you can get in front of it. Plus, it's a success story for law enforcement. And, of course, thankfully, the kid's okay. So, I mean, it's another good story. So, yeah, I thought it was perfectly fine.
You get those tips all the time, and you're one media outlet of 25 in the area that people are calling tips into, saying, hey, there's a large police presence, there's a helicopter, and so people are calling and say, is there an accident, is this, and I just don't have time to take all those calls. So you have to get ahead of it in today's world. Before Facebook and before cell phones, we could wait a week to put it, because the paper came out on Wednesdays and that's what we had. But today's world is instantaneous news, and we got to be able to react to that. So we have to change the way we do this.
Yeah, and you can use that to your advantage. That's why some law enforcement agencies that I won't name, why aren't you using this to your advantage, man? You have this access directly to the people. Anyway, Jody had asked with a girl from Menominee found. Yeah, it was shortly after the Amber Alert. I know we updated our story like around 4 yesterday. I wanted to put this up. I don't know if you had seen that, Fitzy. It's not in your area. That girl who texted her father, I think that was Jackson County, but they were from Polk County. Did you see that thing? That was so awesome that this.
My wife read it to me from DrydenWire. She's like, "Have you seen DrydenWire?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't watch that."
Yeah, I thought that was the coolest thing. Yeah, I mean, it was a horrible situation, but it was so neat that she's texting her dad and all the mile markers, and he's telling State Patrol, because, these adults are allegedly smoking dope in the car with 5 kids. What are you doing?
Right.
That was really cool.
Yeah. I agree. And we need to empower our kids to do things, and that's really good. That's some good parenting on one parent's part, maybe not on the other.
All right, so I have another trivia question for you.
Okay.
Since hockey's starting and you like hockey for some stupid reason, this one is about hockey, but don't answer this right away. All right? I don't know where it went. There it is. Who was the fastest player in NHL history? I can't read this. Who is the fastest player in NHL history to reach 1,000 career points? Alex Ovechkin, Guy Lafleur, Wayne Gretzky, or Mario Lemieux? But first, you're watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by ICAA. ICAA is your local social service organization that works together with individuals, families, and the community to create and support local solutions for local needs. For a full list of services, find them on Facebook or check them out on the website at indianheadcaa.org. Fitzy, what do you have?
Alex Ovechkin.
Gotcha.
I didn't know.
Wayne Gretzky. See, I just answer Wayne Gretzky for every hockey trivia because I figure I'm right a third of the time. So I thought that was the easy choice, so you were going to go with it.
But I thought Ovechkin, he's been doing really good, and he had a good career. He was really quick at scoring goals. But who knows? Yeah. I don't know my hockey players as well as I know the other sports. I just know the hockey rules. Easy question, Mike Schaefer.
It's always easy for when you're not live.
Home, yeah. Definitely, it's the stress. It's the All right. I should have guessed Wayne Gretzky. Yeah. Whatever. Sorry, Mike. I let us down.
So I wanted to talk about a little bit. So last Tuesday I went and did. I had the opportunity to speak at the Law Enforcement Memorial Service in Burnett County. Sheriff Finch had asked me to go there, and it was a fantastic event or evening. There was one girl talked. I think she was a senior. Her parents are both in law enforcement. She did great. It was a special night. And it was a powerful night. I know when I first got up to talk, it was weird. I've never actually gone up when lights, like you look up and you can't see anybody. So I've never experienced that before. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm just going to read this thing because I keep trying to look up, but I'm used to looking at a camera, not used to looking at just white fog. But we didn't get a chance because we were off last week, but it was, law enforcement. There's a whole bunch of different law enforcement things going on last week. So I just wanted to, take some time to talk about right now in Barron County, or as you see it, what is the state of law enforcement in perception from communities to law enforcement? Obviously, you can only speak for Barron County, but where are we right now? There's a lot of things that have happened in the world in the last year, and we've talked about a lot of those. Some were tough topics, but we addressed them, or as best that we could anyway. We had a discussion, but where are we right now?
I think we're in a great spot. I mean, I know people will disagree with that, and I'm a half full kind of guy, but I think the law enforcement support is out. There's a lot of more vocal people about law enforcement, and I think that's what it brought out, the quiet people that were law enforcement supporters saying, you know what, I'm going to be loud. And I think that's a good thing. And so I think we have the support, we have the applicants, we have the equipment, we have the support to get our jobs done. And people know that mistakes might happen. We're not perfect, but we address them. We address the people that shouldn't be cops. They're no longer employed here. Whatever the reason is, we answer the call. And so I think our training is good. I think our support is unbelievable. I can't talk enough about our support. At the Rotary Club this morning, I talked about how it's so easy to be a cop in Barron County. And some days it's tougher. There's a lot of civil disputes right now and property line disputes. And we've gotten into some different things in law enforcement because they want us to solve a lot of problems. And we probably got to back our way out of some of this stuff. And I'm guilty of it because we want to help everybody we can. And so I have our guys go try to do this. And I think we need to back away from some of that civil stuff a little bit. But there's an expectation that people want law enforcement to help no matter what the issue is. No matter if it's my 5-year-old, my 12-year-old, or my 32-year-old doing something wrong, I want your help. And we're willing to help. It's just that we have to set some limits on where we are. So that would be the only negative part, is that we're dependent on so much that we've got to back away a little bit. But we don't need, I don't want to say we don't need reform. We don't need reform. I'll say it. But we can always learn to be better.
Sure.
But what we're doing is good. And what we're doing in Northwest Wisconsin is good. And what Tracy's doing up in Burnett and what we're doing in Eau Claire with our regional SWAT and training together and making it so that we know how to handle these situations. And that's why I write a lot of press releases that talk about the good, because our cops do a lot of good and we probably don't highlight that as much as we should.
Yeah. And that was one of the takeaways I had from that event as well, because obviously either in law enforcement or unfortunately you're a member of someone who has died. We were honoring 4 members of law enforcement on Tuesday night. All obviously people that have died in line of duty, but specifically 4 from Burnett and 1 from Polk. But that was kind of one of my takeaways, was seeing everyone that is there and just their support that they have. It was, I mean, I'm getting emotional thinking about it now because I was crying, or it was hard to finish my speech when I was doing it, because just being in that room with these people, right, and the families of these people, it was tough. And I'm like, man, we need to, like, I've never even been to one of those before. And had Tracy not asked me to go and speak, I probably wouldn't have gone to that either. And when I finished, I'm like, man, I'm going to go to this every single year, whether I speak at anything or not, I don't care. It was something. And I would strongly, strongly recommend everyone going to one of these if you haven't done before, because you when you leave, you'll be changed. You just will be.
Right. And I think we have a lot of events, and that's what I hope comes out of this too, is, National Night Out and the fair and, different events that we're planning on doing. I hope more people come out and bring their kids to these events. And if you want us to plan an event, we'll help you plan an event. We've got to get into the prevention mode, and we're ordering some giveaways and some things like that to give away. And we just ordered a new boom box that I got a couple guys that love to go out and play frisbees at the parks with kids. And now we have this little boom box that they can take with them and play some music and dance and have a little fun, because our job sucks some days. Yeah. There's no question about it. But there's a lot of good in our day, and we just have to remind ourselves, we're all guilty of it, saying, you know what, today's a bad day. No, today's a good day. Let's go make it a good day. We've always talked about words matter, and little things make a big difference, and they do. But words matter in a positive way that we can really take this in a new direction here. And that's my goal, is to take law enforcement in, I don't want to say a new direction, but a more positive direction, because I'm done with the negativity. I mean, there's bad things that happen, but we're going to take this in a positive direction and under my thing and under my direction, and we're going to make it a great day every day in Barron County. And so, but I thank you for giving your speech. I asked if I could see your speech because I enjoy that kind of stuff. I get asked to speak a lot and not perfect at it, but I think I speak from the heart, like you speak from the heart. And I think that's why people love watching us on this show, is because we speak from the heart. Sometimes that gets us in trouble.
Yeah, sometimes we should speak from our brains, but you'll have that.
but you wrote a great speech. I mean, you hit the highlights that I would have covered, and I think you just did a phenomenal job. And I know Tracy thinks the same thing, and we can't thank you enough for the support you give law enforcement, because you make our jobs easier. And that's why people say, why are you involved in so many things in the community? Why are you so involved with the media? I'm like, because I need you guys. I can't get our message out there about all the great things, unless we have some platform to put it on. Sure. And I can't make a difference in our community unless we help homelessness or drug addiction, or find a place after school for kids to go. 3 to 6 p.m. we need after school programs. We need places where people can get help. So that's why I do the things we do to make Barron County and Northwest Wisconsin a better place.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, what kind of music do they play when they go out with a kid? Like little two-pack shaker?
I just got this. It's called Party in a Box. It's really cool. It's a JBL sound system. I bought it off a grant. No tax money was used. I bought it off a grant.
I love how you have to say that about everything.
Because people question that, and I get it. I'm okay with checks and balances, but believe me, we wrote a grant to do some positive things in the community, and that's what we use some of that grant money for. It's got a microphone. We can sing along.
I'm totally coming down and recording that. Oh, that's awesome.
Let's go do it. Let's have some fun. And we're setting. I see our boats parked outside. We just got a brand new boat to be on lakes and the waterways to make sure everybody's safe on the water. It's going out today. But Memorial Day is coming up very soon, and we need to make sure we're safe on the waters and everything like that. So,
when is Memorial Day?
And next weekend, right?
I don't know.
Next
That's why I'm
weekend,
asking. I don't know.
Well, 2 weeks.
Oh,
2 weeks. So this
right.
week is the 22nd, and then it's the 29th, 30th. No, it is 2 weeks. Yeah. So.
Well, I wrote down something, but we'll have to cover it next time. You had brought up police reform. I don't think it's been signed in yet, but I think the Assembly did, and then the Senate did. They passed, I think, four parts of a police reform, and I don't even remember what they were, but I should have probably brought that up and asked you what your thoughts were on those. I don't know if you had seen that or not, but we can get into that some other time, I suppose.
Sure.
What's that?
Did you enjoy the talk? I mean, you said it was powerful, and I really think they are powerful. I mean, it was pretty cool, but did you enjoy it, or were you too nervous to enjoy it?
Oh, so I would give my speech that I wrote, I would give myself an 8 out of 10. Take a point off. I didn't have enough, a segue for this or that, and maybe a little more positive on certain things. So 8 out of 10. My delivery, 5 out of 10. Because again, when I first got it, one, I was nervous because it's weird seeing, like right now I'm looking at a camera. I'm not even looking at you. I'm just staring at this lens, but I've gotten so used to it. It's just what I do, and it's no problem. And there's people watching me right now, but I can't see them watching me. So when you stand up there, it's like not people are watching you, and it's just a different feeling. And then again, when I saw the lights, when I looked up and I realized I couldn't really see anything, yeah, I went way too fast. I think, I just read through it. So I think it was a terrible delivery, but hopefully, still a good message. But it was good, and sometimes it's important, and that's what I told Tracy. I don't really like, nobody likes standing up in front and talking to somebody. But I need to get out of my comfort zone too, right? I mean, otherwise you just can't sit, like for me, I just can't sit behind a camera all the time. I need to get out as well. I need to have these things and do these, and just because I'm not comfortable doing it doesn't mean I shouldn't. In fact, I think that means I should do that. So, I mean, you notice a difference, right, when you're doing just this? Well, we have obviously a little more of a chemistry. We've done a lot of these now, 51 as of today. But you just said this morning you went and spoke, but it was, a group, the Rotary Club, which we still don't know what that means. But you've also done, like with the Jamie Kloss situation, you had to speak to a lot of people, you were in a room with like national media who are going to pick everything apart. I mean, you can't tell me it's not a different feeling.
Right. No, it is a different feeling. And so did you trip the kid when they did a better speech than you? Did you trip them when they came by? You're like, oh, I hate when that.
No,
when
and
that
she,
kid
she even got some laughs, and I'm like, oh, and I had to follow her. I'm like, great.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, no, it was very good. I was incredibly honored to do it. I can't wait to go to more of these, or I certainly will be going to one next year, or maybe even more of them, because I think Russ County had one too. I don't know if Barron, if you guys did.
We've never had one because Rusk and everybody's had them, and obviously with Dan Glaze being over in Rusk, we've kind of let them have it.
Yeah,
we talked about having it here maybe every other year, but they do such a good show over there. And then Tracy has one. I don't want to, we can do one here. We've talked about doing it, but everybody does one around us. It's okay to go support someone else and be part of it. But if people really want to have one here, we can do it here. But I got your speech now, so I can just
read that.
I'll just read that. These are my words spoken by Fitzgerald.
All right, man. Anything else going on? You have that thing tomorrow, so in case anybody's now just listening, if you're in Hagen tomorrow, don't freak out.
See, yeah, it's training. We'll have plenty of signs that says training. We're at a Boy Scout camp off the beaten path, so we'll be out of the way. But if you see a bunch of cars rolling through at noon, there's nothing bad going on. Other than that, it looks like it's going to be a great weekend, so we want everybody to stay safe on the roads, on the water. We're going to see a lot more boating activity over the next couple of weeks, especially with the weather picking up like it is. So, that's about all I got. I mean, we had some more topics. We'll get to them sometime, but everybody being safe, keep having fun, and let's go make a difference today.
Thanks, Fitzy, for everything, as always.
Thank you.
For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by ICAA. ICAA is a local social service organization that works together with individuals, families, and the community. Oh, shoot, I got to ask you a question, Fitzy. To create and support local solutions for local needs. For a full list of services, find them on Facebook or check them out on their website at indianheadcaa.org. WITC announced that they're changing their name to, I can't even think of what it is now.
Northwood Tech College.
Yeah. Did you see that, and what were your thoughts of the logo and the name change? I thought it was clean. It looked good. I thought it was great. Did you get a chance to see that?
Yeah, I'm on their board, so I voted for it.
Well,
so
that figures. You're on
I actually got to see it before you. But I really wanted a logo. I've been part of the WITC board for about 9 years now, and I really wanted a new logo. I wanted a mascot. We're gonna have Blaze the Bear.
Yeah.
But Northwood Tech College, it was changed because there was no meaning behind WITC. It wasn't for any reason. It was just time to rebrand ourselves and to change ourselves. And we have this great technical college here in Northwest Wisconsin, and we need to rebrand ourselves. So look for some exciting new things coming with that.
You and Dave Wilson are on like every board in your respective counties. It's ridiculous.
So
how many boards
make
are
a little difference in the world.
Yeah. Well, you are, and hopefully that we are. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you back here next week, and we promise we'll try to do a little bit better. Until then, stay safe, stay positive, and as always, have a blessed day.